So if you do these deals, to go with our Christmas wish list analogy, you're basically getting on bending knee and you're proposing to Kuminga at the end of this season, right?
Not yet. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You don't have to do that.
This doesn't sit well with me, this whole season for him.
I mean, some people can handle losing, some can't. Winter meetings in full swing in Dallas, Texas when it comes to baseball. You got the Niners getting ready for the L.A. Rams. You got Max Fried signing an 8-year, $218 million deal with the New York Yankees. And I've got issues with him because he just can't stay healthy. He's 30 years old. But he is a great pitcher. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball. But my problem is he just can't stay healthy. 218 big ones for Max Fried. It's wearing pinstripes, Shasky.
It sure feels like, remember when the Giants missed out on Greinke and then they went out and got Cueto and Samardzija?
Yeah.
They used the money that they were going to allocate toward one guy and kind of spread it across the second-tier free agents. Boy, it sure feels like Cashman said, we're not going to spend like drunken sailors, and they immediately pivoted to Fried and spent on him. But look, they need pitching, so this doesn't surprise me.
It's a great rotation.
On paper, absolutely. I like it a lot for them, but I just feel like the baseball's on fire right now with all the moves, and there's so many things going on across the league. You've got obviously the top dogs spending like crazy, and then you have teams like the Houston Astros, and you and I have discussed this regional sports network collapse affecting the business of sports. The Houston Astros are tapering down their payroll, and they've been very vocal about it, saying that, hey, we can't afford a Bregman, for example. We don't know what we're going to do with Framber Valdez. We don't know what we're going to do with Kyle Tucker because we can't afford those guys, and they're coming up for free agency. And because we don't have the revenue from our local television contract, we're probably going to have to move these guys. And I'm sure another part of that, which they don't say out loud, is we also recognize we're probably out of our championship window.
That's what I look. That's the big thing for me is the championship window has closed for the Houston Astros. That's, the regional net, we make great salient points, and that definitely is a factor. But I think if they knew that they had a championship window, they would bite the bullet. They just had a decade-long run.
Oh,
I mean, starting in 2015 when they lost to the Royals, and they were up in that Royals series. Remember they up 6-0 in that game before the Royals come all the way back. They had a decade-long run. It's one of the great runs, and I know it's going to be, people are going to put an asterisk next to it because of the baggy trash cans, like they're the only team cheating in baseball, but all these teams cheated before. But anyway, they won 2 games at Dodger Stadium, so I don't know where the trash cans were a factor there, but they won 2 World Series. They were in multiple ALCSs over and over and over again. And so I think more so the top of the line, they're looking at it saying, do we have a realistic shot at winning another World Series? When we look around the league and we see the Baltimore Orioles ascending in the AL East, and then the Yankees are the Yankees again. And, Tampa Bay's a sneaky team, but you got the Cleveland Guardians who are getting their stuff together. The Kansas City Royals were really good last year. They have a lot of young, upcoming talent. The Tigers, how about the Tigers who just signed our boy Alex Cobb to a $15 million deal for one season?
Alex Cobb.
Yeah, Alex Cobb, baby. Alex Cobb.
I think there's a lot of movement, though. Baseball's on fire right now.
So I think to the point about the Houston Astros, I think they know their window's probably closed, especially when you look at Texas within that division. The Mariners are trying to figure their stuff out, although I don't know what the hell they're doing. Kind of just sitting on their heads right now. So it's a lot of money getting spent to baseball right now. A lot of money.
Well, so I'm looking at it from a Giants perspective. You referenced the shortstop they brought in, and Posey talked for a while yesterday at the meetings, and I was reading the Andrew Baggerly article in The Athletic, and he was saying, hey, look, this team needs like some edge. And I agree with him on that.
Wow. Go figure.
Well, and so he brought in a shortstop who is a grinder, but he plays with an edge. And I think he keeps a lot of his teammates on edge as well. And that's kind of one of the things I was kind of shocked to hear Posey be so direct about it. And I think that's a big change in just how the team is talked about from like the top down. Whenever did you hear Farhan ever discuss like the personality of a player dictating what a team needs in the clubhouse?
I don't even want to talk about Farhan.
I know, but I love this.
The missing element the last few years, swagger,
a soul,
edge, toughness, and an identity.
Yes.
I mean, it was so obvious 3 years in. So I don't even want to look backwards.
I'm looking forwards. This guy.
I'm looking ahead here with Buster Posey. Here are the stands. You need some toughness.
Yes.
You need some grit. Think about the championship teams the Giants had and all the characters they had. They had some swagger.
Yeah.
Angel Pagan had swag. Freddie Sanchez has some sneaky swag. Marco Scudero, Juan Uribe. You think about Travis Ishikawa, a grinder, gritty, coming over, a career minor leaguer. Ryan Vogelsong, a career minor leaguer. Madison Bumgarner, whether you loved him or hated him, he had an edge to him on that mound. Lincecum was the freak. Yeah, Wilson in the back end there. Javi Lopez to get you out. Every outfield was a character. Posey knew on those championship teams, you had a little bit of everything. Yep. You had some swagger, you had some toughness, you had some grittiness, and you had some just characters. That's what makes good baseball teams. And so, right now with Willie Adames, who's going to bring an edge and some swagger, this is a start of something. This is a start. Now, I don't know where the Giants are going to be at when it comes to spring training and who they're going to have here, but obviously the point has been made by Buster Posey. We want swagger. We want edge. Yeah. We want an identity.
Well, and I think that they've improved their everyday lineup just by putting a shortstop who is elite. Now, I don't know if you saw it. The Baggerly article said exactly what I was, I did a deep dive. The guy made all of his errors in a short period of time. I didn't know this. They changed the turf that he played on for however many years at Milwaukee. And he said, hey, some of the spins off this hybrid turf, really got me. And I made 6 errors in like a 3-week span in August and then in late July. And it affected my overall defensive metric numbers. But I think I can be back to where I'm at. Now, he's going to get announced tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow, 11:30. We'll carry it live on 95.7 awesome. The game at 11:30. Willie Adames will meet the media. Meet the media at 11:30 tomorrow.
I think right now, they've already upgraded their everyday roster. I don't think they're done. They're far from done. But I think
they can't. They bet not be far from done.
I agree with you. But I do think that they've improved their everyday roster. Left side of the infield is going to be one of the best left sides of the infield in baseball. Defense does matter. It does, especially in our ballpark. And then pitching, because you referenced all the things that the championship teams that Posey had. Pitching was the thing they hung their hat on. Obviously, timely hitting, defense, and the clutch factor, and the grinded out at bats are all part of it. But you got to have pitching. And right now, there's a lot of pitching available. And I look at what the Giants are going after right now. Corbin Burns is still out there. He's a righty, absolute hog. He's a little older. Framber Valdez, who I referenced from the Houston Astros, could be had in a trade. I don't know if I necessarily go that route.
Let me ask you this, though. Are you thinking about trading Harrison? Are you thinking about trading Birdsong? Are you thinking about trading Mason Black? Are you thinking about trading Wizenhunt, who I've heard about for 3 years? I don't even know who he is, but I've heard about him for so long. Would you be willing to part with one of these young pitchers to get a Framber Valdez from the Houston Astros?
I think this goes back to asset allocation. Roki Sasaki, the Giants believe that they kind of are in on him. Not that they're going to be the favorite, but they think they're in on him. A 23-year-old from Japan. He's a phenom. Now, this goes back to the Blake Snell signing. They have the least amount of money because of the Blake Snell signing in international free agency to spend on someone who's under 25 like this, who posts himself to be had in the big. So, again, this is the downfalls of not retaining Blake Snell. Not only do you lose him, not only did you lose a draft pick, you also lose less free agent money for these international free agents. But Roki's saying that the Giants are in. Now, I don't know. Are they top 5, top 6?
I say no to that. I'll push back on that and just say I don't want Rory Sasaki.
A 23-year-old phenom?
I mean, Yamamoto was okay last year. He had a great World Series game, but Yamamoto was hurt for most of the season. I get a little weary with these Japanese.
No, I do too. But Bonte, the over 25 guys, you have to give big money to. The under 25 guys get minor league deals. So it's already locked in how much that guy's going to make. So this, unlike the Yamamoto deal, isn't going to cost you $300 million.
I see this. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a different setup.
I heard the Dodgers were the favorite.
And they might be. I mean, the Dodgers are in on everyone, Bonte.
Yeah, I heard they were the favorite to kind of add him into the rotation. I don't know. I haven't seen him pitch. I have a problem with, guys coming over from Japan and pitching. And look, you've had some success. You have some good success stories. You have still had a lot of bust here. I still want to know what Jung Hoo Lee is from the KBO. You know what I mean? So I would rather go after Corbin Burns. I like the Framber Valdez angle with the Houston Astros to see what they could do, because I'm not sure about Kyle Harrison. Right now, I got Logan Webb. I've got Robbie Ray, who's on the books for $25 million for the next 2 years. I'm okay with Robbie Ray at 33 years old. I think he could be your third or fourth starter, and I think he'll be fine as a lefty.
I agree with that.
Can I get Corbin Burns? Can I get Valdez? And can I get one of these young pitchers to pop in? Hayden Burns? Pick one. Posey may have to pick one.
I like
it. May be Kyle Harrison, it may be Birdsong, it may be Wizenhunt, maybe Mason Black. They're going to have to pick one here moving forward. And there's a lot on the table here. There's still some more hitting out there. There's still a lot of pitch. I think there's going to be something happening today as well down there in Dallas, Texas.
So we won't find out about Roki Sasaki until January 15th. That's like the posting date. And I don't know. We'll see. That's a wait and see. My point that I'm going at is Burns is out there. Valdez could be had via a trade. There are still other starters available. And then the question is, to your point, you've got pieces. I think you could swing a big deal here. I really do. I think that they're in a position of some strength here. They have a lot of minor league players that I don't know where they fit in. Like Casey Schmidt. If they lose Bregman, is there a combination of Casey Schmidt, Grant McCrary, Wisenhunt, Doval? Would Houston entertain that for the lefty or for Kyle Tucker? Would they entertain something like that? Are they looking for a center field replacement? Do they want a Jung-Hoo Lee? I think the Giants do have some pieces. I don't know.
The Giants would trade Jung-Hoo Lee a year after signing him?
Is that a buster guy? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I you guys tell me.
I think it's still wait and see, don't you?
You know how I feel about Jung-Hoo Lee?
I think you're skeptical.
I'm very, very skeptical.
And I think that's the right point of view. Because
I didn't see a lot of speed. I saw 2 stolen bases, and I saw him get caught stealing twice. I saw him running the 7 walls. I saw him have a low OPS.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a great story, and he became a fan favorite because we had nothing out here. But I don't know. Is he a buster guy? Are the Giants in on him? Would they try to flip him? Because that contract, there's a lot of escalators here. It bumps up big time here.
Yeah.
That money kicks in this year. So I don't know. I don't know what Jung-Hoo Lee is.
Well, I just think that they have guys. Like I look at the Luciano, Luis Matos, even Wisenhunt to a degree. They're kind of stymied right now, and they don't really have a spot on the big league team, and they're kind of just waffling in what I would call, I don't know, 4A ball. Like they're not AAA players, but they're certainly not major leaguers either. Do they have any value? And if you don't have a spot for them, I think now is the offseason to flip those guys. So if you don't land a Corbin Burns, do you swing a deal? Are you more inclined to swing a deal for a pitcher?
Probably. Corbin Burns, 30 years old. He's out there. I'm surprised Baltimore's not in on him. You got Jake Flaherty, Kyle Gibson, Justin Verlander at 42 years old. He's probably going to sign a cheap deal with somebody.
He's still intriguing to me. I know. I can't give him up.
He can still deal.
That's what I'm saying.
He can still give you 5 innings. He's going to deal with some injuries here and there, but what's going to happen with him? What's going to happen with Clayton Kershaw, who's 37 years old? Is he still pitching?
The Giants going after Kershaw?
Max Scherzer, 40 years old.
See, I still think Scherzer's got a little something.
Patrick Corbin, you want to bring him back to the NL West?
The worst.
No, I know.
He's one of the worst contracts in the history of baseball.
Well, we had, there's a thing 3 years ago, and it basically, it lingered. Patrick Corbin Day for gamblers. Whenever Patrick Corbin pitched, it was like, oh, yes, it's Patrick Corbin Day. Make sure you put the Nationals or the other team's team run line, or you bet against Patrick Corbin every single game. Put him in a parlay, whatever you want to do there. Your boy Ross Stripling's available here. But, I want to go back to something here with the homegrown talent, because that's what made the Giants World Series champions.
Absolutely.
Developing homegrown talent. I see a lot of things about first base, whether it's Pete Alonso or Christian Walker, and you can steal Christian Walker from Arizona. But how ready is Bryce Eldridge? Because one of the things that I think the Niners really whiffed on with Trey Lance is I would have started him from day one to see what he had. He didn't play. The rest is history. I want Bryce Eldridge to play from day one. I want him to play from day one. Opening day, you want to get Giants fans fired up. All right, you signed Willie Adames. Mm-hmm. You got Matt Chapman. You have Elliot Ramos. I want Bryce Eldridge up on opening day. They whipped on Casey Smith like this. He was the best player in spring training. You go to Yankee Stadium, you tell Casey Smith, yeah, you're going to start off in AAA. Now, he may not even be good. He may not ever be good, and he hasn't had good at-bats. Once he got off to the hot start, he faded hard. It felt like he faded right after George Contos joined us and told us about his swing rate. It was like, wait, what? And then he faded off. We never heard from him again.
Passes the baton to a young man like him. I understand your point. When I look at the Padres, I can't unsee Fernando Tatis Jr. at 19 years old starting at shortstop every single day.
And Jackson Merrill.
I was just going to get to that. Jackson Merrill this last year, to me, was the rookie of the year. Like, I think he was. When you play every single day, I know what the pitcher in Pittsburgh did was outstanding, Paul Skeens. But Jackson Merrill starting every single day, you empower a young player, and you say, this is your position. Go. Let's go. And both those guys at 19, 20 years old, I'm talking about Tatis and Jackson Merrill, they're better for it years later. Jackson Merrill, 21 years old right now.
They started from day one.
Had a monster season.
Day one. Paul Goldschmidt, 37 years old.
I know
Depends
it's not
on the money.
sexiest
Depends
move.
on him. No, he's a great move 5 years ago. Last year, his last 2 years, his numbers just dipped dramatically. Can he have another season, a lightning in a bottle type season, coming back to the NOS? Maybe. Depends on the money. I'm not as opposed to it as I was, say, 2 months ago. But if we're going to go for a right-handed bat and get a guy here, why not try to go for the polar bear?
Well, it just feels like he's going to make a tremendous amount of money. And if let's just say hypothetically in this scenario, if you're spending $250 on Corbin Burns, you probably don't have $250 to spend on Pete Alonso. You do have to be fiscally responsible.
Yeah, no doubt. But Peter, I'll warm up the Goldschmidt in a part-time role. 22 home runs last season, 65 RBIs, 25 the year before, 80 RBIs, batted .268 2 years ago, batted .245 last year. The OPS sunk to .716. Maybe it's just an outlier. Maybe he needs to get out of St. Louis. Maybe he needs a change of scenery. We'll see about that. So then I'm not cooked. I'm basically not getting the ball. I'm paraphrasing.
I'm not cooked.
People sat there.
I should put that tweet out too. I'm not cooked. I'm just working on my takes.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my mic touches.
Hopefully you don't get the community notes on that one.
Oh, man. I remember.
Well, I might be cooked when I put a video out with no audio.
Nah, that's fine. It made the video better. God, Lord knows we didn't need you screaming on a Saturday with your mom in the background.
I wasn't even screaming.
Even your mom, Noreen looked like, dude, what is going on with you?
She peeps behind his shoulder.
Right.
That was great.
Behind his shoulder, and I just see Shasky's jaws moving so intense. I was like, I don't need that on a Saturday.
I thought she was going to add her own take about Adames.
No, I think she was just looking at Joe like, dude, are you insane? Drive the damn car. You're doing a video about Willie Adames. We're on the way to a funeral, damn it. And he's yelling, I didn't need the sound. That's how I felt like you were talking. I was like, all right, I'm going to put the video down because he's yelling at me.
I was excited, and I wasn't even yelling. I was just talking.
And then Charles said, well, you don't understand. When you're talking and you're looking, you have this look where it's like, man, that guy's like, so after the Denver Nuggets game, you posted a video, and I say, hey, Bully, come here. Check this out. This is what I deal with in the mornings. Right?
I was calm in that video.
Oh.
I was calm.
No, Bully's looking at me like this.
Energy, man.
Tell him get some sleep, dude.
No, that's how we operate.
Without sleep.
To each their own.
Without sleep. Yeah, trust me. I'm looking at my sleep numbers, man. Oh, my God. They're atrocious. Deebo Samuel was asked about his tweets yesterday, and he held court for about 4 minutes. A lot of short answers, including this one.
Care to expand on your feelings or what you wanted to convey with that?
I mean, you read what you read. A little frustrated for sure.
You read what you read. A little frustrated for sure while chewing gum. And it was just
He's had a rough year.
He's had a rough year, man.
It's just there's the bigger picture to me is that, man, is this how he's going to go out as a Niner? Like, wow, man, that just sucks because he brought a lot of great memories. I mean, we've come a long way with Deebo. We were chanting Deebo. Whoa. I mean, the whole stadium knew he was getting the ball in Green Bay, and half his arm is hanging off of his forearm because he's just gashed it from the week prior and dragging this team across the finish line, and we're ready to just clip this guy and send him out. It's just, I don't know, man. I know sports can be cruel, and I know we do this to some of our legends at times, but it's, oh, man, it sucked to watch. And look, he's not an empathetic figure because he's said and done and performed a way that I think has turned a lot of people off for a variety of reasons. But, boy, this doesn't sit well with me. This whole season for him.
I mean, some people can handle losing, some can't. You had the young man from Michigan, Mr. Mullins, who said, some people know how to accept losing, some people don't. Now, I'm probably more personally in the more Deebo Samuel camp. I don't like losing. I'm a sore-ass loser. I'll admit it on the front end. I'm a sore loser. I don't like losing. I hate it. Connect Four, Monopoly. I don't like losing. college football, NCAA football on my sticks. I give up a long touch. I'm like, damn it, what the hell happened? I'm watching replays, trying to rectify it. I'm a sicko like that. Deebo Samuel, obviously, losing hurts. And when you feel like you're not contributing in these losses, or if you think you're not getting the opportunity to contribute, which, I will push back on because I feel like they're looking for him, but Shanahan loves him. He wants the ball. And I'm glad that he wants the ball. It just stinks. It kind of is a microcosm of what's gone on this season. So is he going to get clipped? Is he going to, be on the 49ers next season? I'm hearing mixed reports that he may be back. Who knows? Maybe he restructures. I have no idea what's going to happen in the offseason. But it's been a disappointing year for everybody, including Deebo Samuel. So he wasn't in the mood to talk. I'm glad he did talk. I didn't like the optics of him talking, chewing the gum, just kind of giving short answers and kind of just, it was just weird. It was strange.
But going back to August, remember he came into camp in the best shape of his life. I don't get it. And here's the other thing. The guy did have a serious medical condition where he
had the pneumonia.
He was hospitalized, and that is legit. That is absolutely legit. And it just feels like the tolerance level from a lot of the fans is zero.
Are we surprised about the fans?
No.
Because I do want to know one day how people fan, and I'm not enjoying how this generation is fanning. It's really sickening to see how many to hear just some of the things people talk about our legends. I look at Klay Thompson, the way people talked about him, the way people talk about Deebo. Even Jimmy was a good Niner. Whether we love it, whether we love this play, we weren't relevant until Jimmy arrived from New England. And he helped make this franchise relevant.
Jimmy just makes me smile. I like to laugh about all the Jimmy moments.
Right, yeah, but we like to laugh, but he was a good Niner.
Yes.
Some of our best moments in the last 5 years, Jimmy had a hand in it. So, I don't know. Here's George Kittle real quick on Deebo's tweets.
Deebo's one of our best playmakers, and while he might not have all the stats to show for it this year, touchdowns, stuff like that, he's had a couple ones called back. He's been fantastic for us on kickoff return. And, I thought Deebo actually, against the Bears, the opportunities that he had, he was trying to make the most of them. And unfortunately, for a couple of those, they had better calls into the plays that we called. And whether it was some type of pressure, some type of how they switched their defense up, or, we didn't execute those blocks for him in the ways that we should have. But, to me, Deebo's very close to just breaking it wide open, so I'm very excited for him this Thursday because I think he's going to have one of those amazing Deebo Thursday night games, especially against the Rams. That's what I see. Guys want to voice their opinions on social media. It is what it is. I don't really care. It doesn't make anybody in this locker room think any differently about him. Deebo thinks highly of himself, as we all think very highly of Deebo because he's a hell of a football player. So he just wants to, be out there and contribute to the team, and I think he's going to have an opportunity to do that this weekend.
All right, that's George Kittle having his teammates back. We're going to talk to Ryan Hollins at 9:20. Rockets are 16-8 on the season, 9-3 at home, Shasky, 9-3. One of those L's at home came at the hands of the Golden State Warriors when they nearly blew a 31-point lead on the Saturday afternoon. But you played the Brendan Pajitsky rejoiner. He was huge in the fourth quarter, Warrior fans. Six big points down the stretch, including the fadeaway over Jabari Smith Jr. You get the overtime. Jonathan Kuminga takes over, and you get a big win. So the Rockets are 16-8. The Warriors are 14-9, both in the top 5 in the Western Conference, and Andrew Wiggins is ready to go. But Shasky, Brian Windhorst is talking again. Remember about 3 weeks ago, he said the Warriors had an itchy trigger finger. Joe Lacob covered. They got an itchy trigger finger. They're dying to make a move. They're sitting there in front of the laptop. They got their cell phones. They're dialing. They're calling Houston. They're calling OKC. Who are they calling? They're calling everybody, right? Well, I want to know from the Warrior fans, 888-957-9570, if there's one position or area of need that you would want, what's your wish list? Do you want a big? Do you want a 3-and-D guy? Do you want a playmaker, ball handler, point guard? What do you want here? Well, Brian Windhorst on Get Up, Shaskin, I want you to reply to this. The Warriors are intrigued with a couple names.
When the Heat made it clear they were not going to extend his contract, we were probably headed for an ending of the ways between the Heat and Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't say it's a done deal yet, but I think teams are starting to kick the tires there and look and see what it might take. And the Warriors are one of them. The Warriors have been really active in trying to look for a star player. They kicked the tires on a couple other stars over the summer. And if Jimmy Butler is available and the Warriors feel like they need to upgrade, that could be. But who else is on their list, Roz? That's LeBron James. And I know that this is one of the most fascinating opportunities in the league. It's a delicious scenario to think about. The Warriors have dreamed of pairing LeBron with Steph Curry and Draymond Green since last year. They've made an inquiry, and it got shut down last February. That was before LeBron played with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry and won the gold medal over the summer. So they will definitely monitor the situation, and I don't think they do anything without knowing this door is locked. But I would just say with LeBron, it's up to him. He has a no-trade clause, and he has given no indication he wants the Lakers to do anything but upgrade the roster they've got, not that he wants to go anywhere.
Your thoughts?
On which part? The
Everything.
Warrior angle or the LeBron
Warrior
angle?
Forget LeBron, because I know how you feel about LeBron.
Well, no, I'm out on
James.
LeBron.
Oh, you're out?
Yeah. I swung back the other way.
All right.
Yeah.
Check back in tomorrow, though.
Presented with new information and knowing that I have to take on Bronny and given the current situation.
You were willing to take on
I
Bronny
was
in the
at
summer.
one point, and how I realized, well, if he's not going to be able, like, Bronny doesn't even want to, and I don't want to get too far off tangent here, but Bronny doesn't even want to take a first class flight. That's why he's not playing in the G League. It's freaking ridiculous, quite frankly.
Is that true?
That's the
I didn't
rumor.
know. I didn't even look into that because I checked out a Bronny news.
Okay. Here's
but
where
does
I
he
stand
really
on-
not want to fly commercial?
There ain't nothing you can do about it.
Here's
Bronny's
where
like
I
me. I
stand
don't want
on
to
a
fly
Jimmy.
commercial either.
Jimmy Butler's not good enough to win a championship. And everyone's, they dragged a bunch of, random guys to the finals. Yeah, in the East, I think the West, the roadmap is much more difficult to get to a championship. And so whatever goes, I'm emotionally invested into Kuminga. Had they made the trade 2 years ago where I wasn't as emotionally invested into Kuminga, all right, even during the summer at times I wanted to move on. No, you know what? Now I'm like, you know what? No. I'm done moving off the youngsters. We've held them this long. There's really not a magical trade out there. You're not going to win a championship no matter what. I'm not just burning it to the ground to get Steph his fifth because I'm a Warrior fan. Look, I want Steph to have his fifth, but I'm a Warrior fan to my core. And so this thing about Steph's got to get five. No, I want the Warriors to just be fun and relevant and get as deep as they possibly can. And I don't think Jimmy Butler accomplishes those things.
27 games until the trade deadline. 27 games until the NBA trade deadline. So how does the next 27 look for the Golden State Warriors at 14-9? We talked about the schedule in December. Gets a little easier in January, but you got some games against Boston. You got some games against Minnesota and Sacramento and Memphis and Cleveland. Philadelphia, who's trying to get their act together. So 27 games until the trade deadline appears. So if you're asking me if I need one thing, I need a playmaker, right? Now, Jimmy Butler is a playmaker. He can make plays for others. But to all the things you cited, one, I always look at why does an executive not want this player? Why is this player available on the table? Now, you could have a Houston Astros situation to where you just want to reset your books and you want to start from scratch and rebuild. You want to blow it up. But Miami is when I always talk about the Super Bowl division, Miami's always in their process, and their thought process is we want to compete for championships. So why would they want to move off of Jimmy Butler? Well, we heard Pat Riley at the end of the season last year saying, we got Jimmy Butler talk about the New York Knicks. Dude, we're not playing the Knicks. We're out of the playoffs. How about you just shut up? Straight up. Pat Riley, but he's the Godfather. Love Pat Riley. Remember that? I loved it. Spinelli, pull it up. It was amazing. So you would have to extend Jimmy Butler because he would want a new deal. Now, how does it look in this offense? With Steve Kerr, Tinker's offense, could Jimmy Butler play to read and react? I think he can. He could defend, but what is it going to take to get a Jimmy Butler? I'm not willing to trade Wiggins and Kuminga. Hell no. I'd rather have Kuminga and Wiggins than Jimmy Butler. I know some people are probably driving in the road, spitting out their coffee saying, what, Ponte? I don't necessarily think they need a superstar either. I know they're star hunting, but I don't think they need one. If you made a subtle move, the more and more I think about it, the Anthony Melton's contract, all right, obviously there's a hole there, Shasky. Go get Dennis Schröder for Brooklyn right now. He's a playmaking guard who could help out Podziemski. Here's Pat Riley. Here's what Pat Riley said after the season out of Jimmy Butler. Check this out, Warrior fans.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
And so that's where Pat Riley's at. And if Pat Riley's giving up on you, the Godfather, and then I think about this. If you pair Kuminga down in Miami with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, I'm not saying they're finals contenders. I'm not saying they're gonna just wreck the East, but damn, Kuminga in that system next to Bam Adebayo, that's scary. You don't think Eric Spoelstra and company could get the best out of Jonathan Kuminga? So let's be careful here on going for Jimmy Butler. I would love to hear from Warrior fans, 888-957-9570. Do you want Jimmy Butler? Is that the guy to go get? Is that the guy who's going to fix all the problems? Or is it LeBron James? Are you back on that train?
When I look at any deal in my life, right, whether it's a personal or professional deal for my team or for my family, I'm a big believer in the rule of three. As in, if there are more than 3 red flags, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Red flag number 1. You've alienated Pat Riley? Okay. Red flag number 2. Look at your age. Red flag number 3. The guy has been hurt with the knee multiple times the last couple of years. Red flag number 4. He's been an attitude problem everywhere he's gone. And when I mean attitude, I mean him and teammates don't get along.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's the last thing the Warriors need. Number 5, he wants a new contract. Okay? And then number 6, the cost to deal for him is too prohibitive. It limits what I have now. I'm not giving up Wiggins and Kuminga and picks for 35-year-old Jimmy Butler. There isn't 3 red flags. Bonte, there are 6. There are 6 red flags in this deal.
I don't want the guy. I never wanted Jimmy.
Desperate teams are going to make desperate deals. Right. If I'm the Rockets, I'm in a different situation than the Warriors are at. I might consider it. I heard that.
No, hell no. If I'm the Rockets, I say hell no. Well, you see all the young talent they have? They'd be fools to break this apart. They're off to a great start. Ime Udoka has them defending their asses off. I do not do anything if I'm the Rockets.
I'm just saying, like, they're in a different spot than the Warriors, and
right. I hear that.
Maybe I consider, if I'm Dallas, maybe I consider, because there were rumors that Dallas would flip Klay Thompson in some sort of a deal like this. Like, maybe they do it. For my Warriors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different red flags. I'm out on it.
You're already flipping Klay Thompson out of Dallas? That's impressive.
What's that?
You're already flipping Klay out of Dallas?
No, that's actually, I saw that in 2 different reports.
What report?
Various reports said that in any deal that because they're linked to Jimmy Butler, he's a Houston guy, he's a Texas, and and Dallas would want in on him, and in kind of the deal for Jimmy Butler that they would package a combination of Klay Thompson and other assets.
Can you imagine that? Kyrie, Luka, and Jimmy Butler all need the ball in their hands.
Oh, you and I agree. I'm just telling you because I read a bunch of different.
I don't think Dallas.
Articles.
I think there's a lot of speculation.
There's a bunch right now, not just for Jimmy Butler, but if the Mavericks could land a guy like Paul George potentially too from the Sixers. Now he's back on the table.
They're in on. I'm telling you, Dallas is in.
Would the Warriors be back in on Paul George? Well, but no. They were in on him in the summer.
They were.
And I don't think the cost is going to be as much. And the Clippers said no because they're in the West and they're competing with the Warriors. Sixers don't care.
No, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true.
What part is not necessarily
true?
The
Clippers were willing to deal Paul George
to a team in the West.
They, from what I hear, they were willing to deal Paul George, and they didn't care whether it was the Warriors, the Sixers. They didn't care. They were willing.
So what happened?
What happened? Deal didn't come through. The deal didn't happen. Is what happened. The deal didn't happen.
I love the vagueness of that answer.
No, I'm telling. Just trust me on this one.
You don't
just trust me on this one. Just. The Clippers were willing to deal with Paul George, and they were like, you know what? You could just walk. We don't think that highly of you. You could just walk, right? So that's what it was. There were some pieces out there. There were some things, anyway.
On the surface, Paul George and Jimmy Butler in particular. Jimmy Butler is way better right now than Jonathan Kuminga. But it's not a Kuminga for Jimmy Butler deal. It's a Kuminga, probably Wiggins, probably more picks for Jimmy Butler. And then Jimmy Butler's going to get here and, does he fit? Does he want a contract extension? Now I'm doing the Steiny. But you get where I'm going with this.
You love doing the Steiny. That's your idol. I'm kidding. Laugh a little bit. Moves I would like to make. If
so
there's
this
a move
is your
to
wish
make,
list.
This is my wish list.
Get the Christmas music going for his wish list.
Wish list. My wish list.
Bonte Hill, the king of all Bay Area sports media.
I'm really not.
The king of Warrior Land.
That's,
has a wish list.
The king clause.
When you guys do this, you don't understand how much you disrespected Tom Tolbert, Greg Papa, Gary Ratnich, rest in peace, Ralph Barbieri. You're disrespecting a lot of guys out there who's done it a lot longer for me. So you guys keep doing this. It's not me. It's them. My wish list. Dennis Schröder. DeAnthony Melton has a $12.5 million contract. He's out for the season. That is an attractive contract for teams that love expiring contracts.
So you're just
And
waltzing
Brooklyn's in
down the
play.
Macy's aisle.
And
all
I see
right?
Dennis Schroeder.
And you see Dennis Schroeder. Is it on sale?
It might be. It might be.
What would it cost you
for Dennis Schroeder?
Schroeder?
Well, our boy Randy, KCBS, our boy Randy. You know he has a sibling in the Brooklyn Nets front office.
Okay. So
I shouldn't probably say that, but
keep expanding.
Yeah, I've just said, hey, talk to
I think he
your bro.
tweeted it, so you're okay.
Yeah, he tweeted it. Yeah, his brother.
And
he's trying to work on him. It may not cost much for Dennis Schroeder, who's up for a contract after the season. D'Anthony Melton's contract and a pick, second-round pick maybe, for Dennis Schroeder. And now you got a playmaking guard, either off the bench or next to Stephen Curry, who's an agitator defensively, who can get to the cup.
Okay.
Dennis Schroeder, I love it, because I don't think the Warriors necessarily need a star.
Okay.
I think you could get some ancillary pieces here and compete for this damn thing in the Western Conference.
So do you go to Macy's for a Dennis Schroeder, or is he more of like a Ross selection?
J.C. Penney.
Yeah, he's not. Because I don't think, like when I think Jimmy Butler, I think of Bloomingdale's, right? It's going to cost you a lot, right?
Well, it might be Louis Vuitton with you.
Okay. Okay. So you know shopping
Dennis
better
Schroeder,
than I do.
Dennis Schroeder, unfortunately I do. Dennis Schroeder, that's why my bank account is depressed right now. Dennis Schroeder, he thinks he's Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Remember, he said no to the LA Lakers.
He thinks he's Gucci.
He did.
He fumbled the bag big time.
He fumbled the bag. Fumbled the bag. Now he's still making $18 million this year, so he's still got a bag.
So is he on the? So he's on the discount rack. Okay. Who else?
But he may be on the discount rack at Macy's, a blowout sale. Clearance.
Right.
Come down.
Yeah,
come
I'm
on.
down with that. So, okay, in this analogy, who else would Bonte Hill have on his Christmas wish list for the Warriors? I love the music, by the way. I just feel cheery.
Yeah, I do feel cheery.
Tis the season, guys. Come on.
Season.
God, just so good. I mean, the guy who came up with this idea is just a genius.
Who's you?
Just playing a little Christmas music underneath the bed.
Yes, you came up with the wish list.
Yeah, you came up with
the first time in radio history.
Not my text messages from last night in the show thread. That wasn't me. That was Shasky.
Well, some ideas I make better.
Look, I tell Shasky all the time,
I can't even believe you said that.
My guy's been at Kaiser every single week recently because he's patting himself on the back so damn hard with that right hand. It's not even funny.
You're at Kaiser for the little guy.
Got to go to Stretch Lab for that, actually.
Yeah, you should go to Stretch Lab and get that. Hell, you need to work on that. We'll get to Manny on Dumbarton Bridge in just a second here. My other wish
give it to
for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a big. And you get a big who can either stretch the floor and hit a three, or you get a rim protecting big who could be cheap. So I look at Robert Williams in Portland, and now obviously the big question mark with him is health. Can he stay healthy? Where's his legs at? Where's his knee at? Where's his ankles at? He had a concussion, so he was out, but in the games that he's played, he's been very productive. 17 minutes a game, about 10 and 7. He's a rim protector. We saw him in the NBA Finals. You may be able to get him for just a pick or two.
So right now, what you're willing to put on layaway, what you're willing to put up, right, for some of these purchases is what? You're going to give up the Melton contract.
Yep.
Okay.
And some
you're
picks.
willing to sacrifice certain draft picks moving forward. We don't have to get too detailed on it. Are there any other players that you'd be willing to surrender? Is a Moses Moody on the table?
Yeah, I'm going to keep on. I don't think you have to give these guys up. I
what
really
about
don't.
TJD?
I don't think you have to give them up. I don't.
Really?
Robert Williams has only played in 7 games.
What about Vucevic?
Well, you may have to give up something for him. He's a hell of a player. He fits. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He could score the ball too, man. He's lethal from the 3-point line. 7 games for Robert Williams.
Only 7.
Only
Wow.
7, which is 1 more than he played last season.
So we're trending up.
We're trending up. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 block shots a game. Wow. He made his free throws in those 7 games too. 92% for the free throw line.
So if you do these deals, to go with our Christmas wish list analogy, you're basically getting on bending knee and you're proposing to Kuminga at the end of this season, right?
Not yet. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You don't have to do that. What I'm saying, but with these moves right here, Dennis Schroeder and Robert Williams, without giving up any players, and I think you need to do the deals now, like in the next 2 weeks. You need to get ahead of this before everybody in the league. I think you got to deal early before the league catches on, and you make a move right now, right now.
You don't want to go shopping on the day before Christmas.
No, because everybody's out there. It's packed.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Parking
it's the worst. So you do these deals now. You have 27 games until the trade deadline. If you get these deals done within the next 7 games, all of a sudden you got 20 games.
That's a good point.
20 games to see what Dennis Schroeder and Robert Williams can do. And then you can get to, okay, maybe we trade player X for this, or trade player Y for this. But I think you do some nice little subtle moves early, and you don't need to star because I want to keep these young assets. Right now, Moody has a very, very team-friendly contract. Pods is on the rookie deal. Kuminga's obviously going to be a restricted free agent. That's going to cost you big money, but you know what? He may be worth it. I think we were talking in the offseason, $30 million. In a couple of years, that could be a bargain for Jonathan Kuminga. It could be.
He's got to play well.
He's got to play well. And he's had a hell of a week. He's trending up.
I mean, I look at the three guys that got contracts at around the same time: Maxey, Jordan Poole, and Tyler Hero. And Maxey at times has lived up to the contract and then some. Jordan Poole's been up and down. Tyler Hero down, then up, then down, then back up again. He's having a monster year this year. But so I get your point about it could be a bargain down the line. Some of these things just aren't linear. They're up and down like the stock market.
They are. What's your wish list?
Well, the more and more I think about it, I don't want to tap out my entire credit card on a Jimmy Butler. I don't think it's worth it. It's the mink coat that you're only going to wear one time. That's really not practical for the other, 364 days out of the year. I want to be able to get a gift that's thoughtful, that can help you out, that you can use on a day-to-day basis. And so to your point, I want to go with more of a backup point guard. I think they need one desperately.
And you can start Schröder.
But I'd be willing to surrender a Moses Moody because I don't think he really fits into what they're doing right now, and he feels like the odd man out. Well, and I feel like I need to do right by him and go send him off to a place where he can thrive.
Well, I want to see Moses Moody when he does come back. Monty and I were talking about this on Warriors Now, which streams on the NBC Sports Bay Area app. I want to see Moses Moody get a start or two. Now, he's going to be out tonight with the knee injury, and who knows when he's going to come back. But they went to Lindy Waters, they went to Pods. We saw Buddy Hield at GP2 the other day. I would have liked to see Moses Moody get a crack at it just to see what he could do next to Steph at the 2. Just let me get a little taste. Let me get a little tease.
I don't know. I've come to the conclusion it's been 4 years, and it's been the coach is just, I don't know. He's made his decision, and he's made his mind up, it feels like.
Maybe.
The other thing that I keep coming back to is, I love a good, what I call a Patagonia, just a thicker jacket, a little puffier jacket that I can wear in a variety of elements, because you know how San Francisco is. And so
I went North Face. I'm a North Face guy.
This is going to be controversial. I want Jordan Poole back. I want him back bad.
You want him back?
I want him back bad. And I want to apologize, send him the Christmas card, just make up. I want to make up.
Do you know what he's going to say back? It's the old signing drop. Apology not accepted is what Jordan Poole's going to say back. He's done here, man.
I'm shooting.
I mean, is Draymond leaving? That's the only other thing.
Draymond's changed.
But not for Jordan Poole.
I mean, what are we doing here, man?
I mean, I hate to go Hawaiian here, guys, but you got to bring up the point.
Come on. Draymond's kind of like Cousin Eddie, where he's redeemable at the end. Not like in Christmas Vacation. I know he ruined Christmas completely, but can he salvage it by kidnapping the boss at the end of the movie? And I'm going Christmas Vacation.
I like your Kyle Tucker playing better than this one. I like your Kyle
Tucker all the good stuff. So I was trying to throw something else.
I don't steal all the good stuff. This is my stuff. I don't steal anything. You know what I say, Shasky and Spinoni and Lovin? I'm too arrogant in the sports world to steal anything because I think my stuff don't stink, even though I have a bunch of bad takes out there. But I would rather have bad takes by doing my own research than being a student on a group test. Oh yeah, let me just put my name on there. No, I don't rock.
I think I've come to the conclusion that these big giant trades, like whenever I see these commercials where someone buys a car for Christmas, hey, hon, I locked you into a 10-year deal on a car, $50,000. It's like, that is not a Christmas gift. I'm the one paying that. Whenever you see those car commercials, and they're like, I got you a car. It's like, who's paying for that?
So you're aficionado on LeBron?
I don't want LeBron.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
sure
good
if that deal is possible.
Right now, I'm off that.
Yeah, you sure?
But if Steph wants it, I would reconsider. I mean, what would they? They would be the retirement tour. I mean, they really would.
That's what I was trying to tell you in the summertime.
It would be Aerosmith at the end,
Where was
right?
this 3 months ago?
Well, 3 months ago was different. That was before I started seeing depreciation from a 40-year-old LeBron.
You didn't see it last season?
They were better without him on the floor the other day.
You didn't see it last season? Spinoni, man. Help my guy out,
They were the two best players in the Olympics.
Man.
They were. That says more about, I think, the competition in the Olympics. We were all gassing it up.
3 weeks.
I'm just picturing Steph and LeBron attempting to play defense late in the game.
He wants another pool party. He wants another pool party. Let me tell you,
the reality.
There's too much chlorine in that water.
If I'm going to go down on a take, might as well ride and die with the king of the NBA and LeBron James. Like, riding or dying on Casey Schmidt hasn't worked out well for me.
Hot take.
Oh, man.
I'd rather have Dalton connect.
Well, yeah, but they're not giving him up.
I kind of rather have Dalton connect, too. I'd rather have, drum it up, please,
Anthony Davis.
That's the guy to always get for the LA Lakers. Can I get Anthony Davis?
Speaking of the Heat, Jaime Jaquez available.
Well, here's another name. And this
Could have drafted him.
This is one of those, like, this is like a nice bracelet for your wife, right? You know, a really nice bracelet. I don't know, whatever she likes, pearls, diamonds, little gold, little sterling silver. I don't know.
She likes it all.
I want Trey Murphy III. If he can be had from New Orleans, I want him. Yeah. And I would overpay in terms of draft picks because whatever draft pick you're going to get, I doubt you'd be able to find a guy who's as good, as quick as Trey Murphy will be for you.
Trey Murphy, last game out against San Antonio on a loss, 25 points, 5 of 5 for the free throw line. He was 4-10 from 3, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. I don't think New Orleans is giving him up. They just got DeJounte Murray back, but who knows? Let's go to Manny on a Dumbarton Bridge. He's been waiting for a while.
What's on your wish list, Manny?
Manny, you there? Oh, Manny. Going once, going twice.
That Dumbarton Bridge will get you.
It will.
It will
salt.
get you.
It's the salt smell.
So you want a pool party again, huh?
Why not? Warrior fans are fooling themselves if they wouldn't take Jordan Poole back in a heartbeat.
Come on. Let's get goofy. 888-957-9570. You guys want Jordan Poole back, Warrior fans?
I would take him back. He's exactly what the doctor ordered. Another shooter who can create off the dribble? Hell yeah.
Would you rather get Jordan Poole or Dennis Schröder on the cheap?
Ooh.
I think I might rather have Schröder.
Yeah, better.
But the problem is Schröder does think he's a one.
Well, no, but he makes one. I've seen him make winning plays in the playoffs too, and he's defensively he's much the best.
He agitates you on defense, man. He's a good player. He's a good player. That 5-0, no, well played. Imagine King James and King Pate. No, let's not imagine that at all. That ship has sailed.
Kings Club.
The time to play. The time to go get LeBron James was back in 2014.
A peace treaty negotiated amongst kings and kingdoms.
Let's go to Lucas and Gilroy. He has a wish list.
Lucas.
It's not Lucas Alexander, is it?
Right on.
Well, no, it's Lucas from Gilroy. My last name's Alessi. But I want LeBron, man. I want the retirement part. I want to see Steph, and I want to see LeBron go out, get the 5th ring. Let's go. Let's chase it.
So you want LeBron James?
I want LeBron. Let's go. I think it would be a nice pairing. I think the retirement party would be good.
There it is. He wants a retirement party. Manny on a Dumbarton Bridge. What's your wish list? You want LeBron too?
Not even close. Shasky, I wanted to add to your list on why we should not bring Jimmy here.
Give it to me.
Number 7, his haircut alone would not want me to see him in a Warriors outfit ever. Now, moving forward, what I was saying earlier was hopefully this doesn't mess up my roster of the year contention, but this is a personal topic for me because when KD got to the Bay, it was hard for me to embrace him. It really was. I used to joke around and say he was a splash cousin. Imagine if Jimmy or LeBron came here. I wouldn't look at them as splash brothers or splash cousins. I would look at them as a splash stepfather because you know how much love stepfathers sometimes do not get. If the Warriors were really going to invest in that, I was okay with Buddy Hield and Melton coming here. But you know what? If Warrior administration, if you were going to look for a name, if you were going to spend that much money, hey guys, think back when you were in high school, your very first girlfriend. If you could, and I'm not, putting you guys on the spot, if you could go back to the very first girl that you ever fell in love with, would you even explore the possibility? So you know what? Let's put together a nice little package for Dallas and bring back number 11 to the Bay. Let's show him some love and respect that we didn't when we showed him the door.
I'm sorry, you cut off a little bit. You cut off a little bit after the high school thing. What did you say, Betty? After the high school stuff, meeting the first love in high school.
You know what? If you wanted to make it right, if you wanted to bring a name back to the Bay, hey, there's a guy that is in Dallas. Not the Dallas that we're thinking about, that if we put a nice together little package, can we have him come back? Huh?
Clay?
Would I want Clay back? I would give up some players and some money for Clay to come back. I know the ship has sailed, but
Ship has sailed. Ship has sailed. Ship has sailed.
And Clay was the captain of that ship.
Ship has sailed.
Because 11 is Kyrie in Dallas and 31 is Clay. I was a little confused.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
You bring up Jordan Poole, the Raider debater from Oakland. Give us a call because I want to hear.
What's he saying?
You know he's the biggest Jordan Poole fan.
We could use
him. He's the biggest Harrison Barnes fan, too. Jordan Poole back with the Warriors will unlock Andrew Wiggins.